Today I'm here in a different role than usually. You know me since a long time, I'm a part of this club. But this year, for the next 6 months, I will have a special role in Toastmasters, and this role is related with new pathways learning experience. This is an educational program which will come to our club very soon. And today I will share with you what's important in that program and what you should expect with that experience. So that's a very exciting thing, and remember that you can always reach out to me and get detailed information also after the presentation when you will have more questions. And Pathways, it's the program, we are not the first group who is actually experiencing that, because it was launched in many districts already, and I would like to share with you first what are experiences of some other members who already tried that program and they introduced it to their own clubs.
What I like best about Pathways is the fact that it's much more customized to what you may want to get out of Toastmasters, what your goals are.
It's basically Toastmasters updated.
The base camp is like having a personal coach. It guides you through the journey of Pathways and tells you the next steps.
One of the things I liked about Basecamp is that I can tell where I am in my journey and continue at the next step. I know exactly where I am.
I've used it on a computer, I've used it on a tablet, I've used it on a phone.
It's really cool that we're able to go on to Basecamp and take a quiz that determines what path best suits our needs.
One of the most surprising things about the assessment is that it gave me more awareness about what exactly I was looking for.
The questions were very introspective.
And the assessment was very intuitive.
Taking the assessment helped me really put a finger on my goals.
These paths are going to aid me in a more specific way than the previous programs did.
The path that I chose really gave me the step-to-step roadmap into achieving my goals.
There are 10 different paths. It's amazing how much opportunity there is for the future.
Pathways has led me to a whole new level.
I'm really appreciative that Toastmasters has this new, exciting format. After decades of having an old format, we are now up to date and we can determine which path best suits the individual.
So those are experiences of other members. And there was a lot of things said about Pathways and about Basecamp and other terminology like that, and I will tell you exactly what those all means. But let's start from the beginning. This is Ralph Smedley. He's a founder of Toastmasters, and his idea was always to help people get better in the communication skills and the leadership skills, because he believed that if we have those skills, we can manage better in our daily life. So the objective is that we can learn in a very safety environment and get skills which are very useful outside of Toastmasters in our real life. And the program is actually, you know that program very well. And believe it or not, but the first manual, basic trainings, it comes from 1940s. And then we had like competent communicator and competent leadership. And since that time, there was no significant change of Toastmasters educational program. But what happened since that time? We all learn in a different way. There is a lot of digital learning. We need to have a constant access to inspiration materials. We want to be very flexible in what we are heading for. And we had a bit limited opportunities in our old educational program, because it was constant. It was the same way for everyone who is joining Toastmasters. But I'm sure each of us is actually joining with a different objectives, and we would like to learn different skills. So actually in 2010, our world headquarters, they started to think about revitalizing the educational program. So you see, it took them 7-8 years till now to actually find out what will be the best educational program to cover the needs of all new members. And what you can see, it's actually that this will be very customized experience for all of you, because you will be able to choose your own way, what you would like to learn, which competencies you would like to acquire in Toastmasters, and what will be the pace that you do that program. So it's much more flexibility, And it's much more competencies you can learn during that experience. And then there is another video. I'm just worried to to do that, so maybe I will just share it with you later on. It's about pathways, but I'm sure I have all the information later on in the presentation. So basically, in the new program and the new pathways program, you will have 5 main competencies. And those are public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. And it is said that first 4, you can learn them. You can read, you can get some information, you can practice, and so on. But the last one, you actually need to practice to gain that. So you cannot learn how to be confident, but you need to practice, practice, and practice. And with all the paths, you will be able to actually do that. And now let's see what's coming. So those are actually 10 new paths which are in the new educational program. So as you can see, before we could say, all right, we are here to learn public speaking and leadership. But let's look on that, how many more things you can actually learn here in Toastmasters, and how you can relate those competencies, those paths, to what you are doing and what your objectives are in the real life. When you go back to your work, maybe you work on maybe you are doing strategic planning, or maybe you would like to be very professional in the leadership as a leader in your organization. So here you can see that there is like dynamic leadership, effective coaching, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, strategic relationships, team collaboration, and visionary communication. So you see, it's from coaching through leadership and interpersonal communication. So it's much more choice for you to choose what's best for you and what you can learn. And you see the numbers here. So this means which competencies are related with the path. And if your main objective is to become a professional public speaker, there is a path which is called presentation mastery. And that path is basically only on public speaking, and of course you build your confidence while you are doing projects and speeches. So you still have the opportunity to be better at public speaking. And actually you see all of the projects they have the first competence, which is public speaking. Because when you will do those paths and projects, you will always present and do speeches. So it will be still, it's about public speaking, but it's also much more that you can win with that program. And then when you decide, when you choose one of the paths you would like to work on, each path consists of 5 levels. And this is also very smart, because when you start to learn something, you are the beginner. When you start, you are a beginner. And then you repeat some things, you learn a bit more, you are adding new information until you start be very good at it. And that's the idea of having different levels in the path. And first level, it's actually icebreaker, which we already know. So we all will start with icebreaker. Doesn't matter which path it is. It always starts with icebreaker. And another very essential part of Toastmasters, which is actually evaluation and feedback, it's also a part of each path. So those are essential basic things that we are doing in our first level. Then in the second level, it's about mentoring, and I will tell about it a bit more later on. But we all will learn a bit how to mentor people and what is mentoring about and so on. And then from level 3 till level 5, there are very specific projects which are different, depends which path you follow. And you must say, I think it's it's in the next, yes, here you can see that there is 59 different projects. When you look at all paths, you have a choice of 59 different projects. And actually, when they finish with the launch, they will add more projects. So it will be even more. They will develop also that part. And of course, you have a choice in different languages, so you can do it in Danish. It's not an official Toastmasters language yet, but there are other languages. If you would like to do it in different language than English, you can of course try it and follow it like that. And then what we like in Toastmasters and what is giving us this fuel and the power that we continue, it's actually recognition. This is our, this drives you that we are coming here, we are achieving something, we are recognized, and there is a recognition program in this new learning experience as well. And each time when you finish level, you achieve a badge, which is showing that you achieved that level already. And what is also very interesting, you see below there is four different badges. You can award someone, you can recognize someone from your club. So we can give recognitions to ourselves also, because if we think that that's necessary. And of course there are certificates when you finish and complete different products. So a lot of recognition is coming with that program. And then the next exciting thing is related with evaluations. And probably you can remind yourself some situations that you receive an evaluation, but maybe it wasn't very specific. Maybe it was too optimistic without very specific points for improvement. So they observed that there is a need to make evaluation process more structured and that everyone can learn more from that process. So in this case, each project will have a very specific short description of what are the project's objectives, and there will be special part of evaluating the project, but then in the next step you will have the same form to evaluate each speech and each project. And it's actually showing you different things, like from clarity, vocal variety, topic, and so on. And you have this scale from 5 to 1, but it's not just that you will guess which point you are giving. You have a clear description what does it mean actually in each level, that you give someone the rating on 4 or 5 or things like that. So you will be guided in the way how you evaluate people. And what is very interesting also that, all right, how many of you is bringing your manuals to each meeting?
What?
Your manuals. Who is bringing manuals? Not many. Manuals.
Manuela, oh.
Yeah, not many. So with the new program, everything is available online. So you can, even before the meeting, you can just download the evaluation form, and your evaluator can do it online, and you can save it in the database when you will keep all your evaluations. So it will be, and even you have one evaluator who is evaluating you at the meeting and giving you the writing evaluation, but you can also ask other members to receive even more evaluations, and then keep everything in one system. I will tell about the system a bit later, but then you will have everything. You can have track your progress. So this is about evaluations. But then I mentioned that there is also a mentoring program related with pathways, and in each path we learn about mentoring. But this is a base introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. This is a part of each pathway. But then, if you would like to be a Pathways mentor, we have a mentoring program right now, and then Toastmasters, they decide how the mentoring program should be structured. So you can be official Pathways mentor, mean mentor for the club, for new members, and it means that you need to complete those manuals which are related with mentoring, and you need to complete one path. And then you will be a certified Pathways mentor in the club. So of course it will take some time to get first Pathways mentor, but then you will learn a lot about mentoring, how it is going, and how to be a mentor. Yes?
What kind of time frame are you looking at? Finishing one path?
they say that it may take up to 18 months, but it's of course you can decide how quick you do that. So if you are very motivated, then you can do it probably more quickly. Mm?
When was it going to be implemented?
Yes, it's coming to our club 20 of March. And it's the expected date. There is some conditions that it may be a bit postponed, but this is the expected launch date. And it means that new members, they will go into new program. And for us, as existing members, we have choice. We can continue with the old program up to 2 years, since the last club launched Pathways. So I guess we need to say that it's 2 years, because now they really speed up and they want to launch that program. I think they want to finish that launch this year. So we need to expect 2 years that you can be in the old program as well. But I will go back to that later on. So how you get started? Basically, you will when it's coming, you will receive an official email from Toastmasters International, and then you can just click and say, all right, I want to begin that journey, and I would like to sign up. And then you will be. You've heard in that video that people were saying about Basecamp, and that's what's the Basecamp? Basecamp is actually a learning tool, online learning tool, and it will be part of Toastmasters.org website. So you will learn to that, and you will see your paths, you will see your progress, and you will see all materials which are related with your path. So it's your knowledge base. It's a very, very great thing that you can find everything there. And then there is a navigator, but I will tell about it a bit later. It's now navigator. Navigator is actually this is an introduction for each new member. So that's kind of onboarding process for new members. You get the navigator, you have a description, what's Toastmasters, what are the meeting roles, what are roles in the board, and what are the paths. So everything is in that project. And you can already find it online on Toastmasters.org, and you can read it, and it's very useful, because then each new member, when he just read that, he has very great onboarding to Toastmasters. And then when you start, before you start, you need to choose if you would like to do your path on Basecamp, which is all materials will be online, or you would like to have a printed materials. What I recommend to you is that you use online version, because they said that in online, when you decide for online version, you have much more materials. I mean, they don't print out everything what you could have in the Basecamp. But in the same time, when you log into Basecamp, everything is downloadable and printable. So you can just print it for yourself and have it. So that will be the choice for you. And you see the prices, and the price for one path is $20. And when it's printed, it's $45, because it needs to be shipped to you. So of course, when you choose online, then you get it immediately. So it's like a very, very quick process. And what it means for us as an existing members, when the pathways come in March, we can sign up, and the first path is for free. So we can start right away when the program is coming. And then when we complete first path, the next we will need to buy it for $20 each. And it was the same with the old program, because you was getting 2 manuals, you were then getting 2 advanced manuals, but then when you would like to continue, you need to buy manuals actually. So that's the same, that first you get it for free, and then you need to pay for a bit more. And then, so first you choose that if it's online or if it's in printed version. And then you get an assessment. So that's start the process, what is actually the path, the right path for you. And of course you will be asked some questions about your interest, about your experience, about what you would like to achieve. And then when you complete that assessment, you will be 3 paths will be suggested for you. And you can choose the one which is suggested, or you can just read about all of them before you make a choice. So it depends. If you are not convinced, if you don't have that feeling, maybe read a bit more and then decide what's the best path for you. And that's how it will start. So you will get, when you decide that this is my path, then you will have all the information online in this base camp. It will look basically similar to what you see here. Yeah, so this is, I already mentioned that you can continue with the old program, but you have a limited time for it. So I'm not sure how many of you are actually heading toward the highest recognition, which is DTM. It may take quite a long time, but what I can say, maybe for existing members who started advanced manuals, maybe it's a good way that you continue till the end of the next educational award. You get a certificate, but in the same time you can already start pathways and start the new program. But it's of course up to you. You have your own choice what's best. And this, the navigator, I already mentioned about it. And then, of course, the meetings, the meeting structure doesn't change. There will be still speeches presented at the meeting, and there will be evaluations and table topics. And yeah, so meeting structure will be the same, but you have much more, like about feedback or about access to materials, you have much more opportunities with that. And who knows what's Distinguished Club Program? Yeah, so maybe I would just say a little bit about it. This is the way that clubs are compared and how clubs are recognized. So of course, instead of getting CC achieved, then they will measure how many projects we are completing, how many levels, and so on. So that's for the officers, that they know how the club will be evaluated. And you have a support. And you are very lucky because you have your own member who is very updated about everything what's related with pathways. So of course reach out to me at any time you need. And my role is actually double. It's an ambassador and pathways guide, because I'm so it means that I will have a very close I will work closely with VPEs to help you answer all your questions and to start it very quick and successfully. And you get this pathways kit for the club, and inside is the printed version of Navigator, and there are some pins. So probably if you will be very interested in the pathways, then you can get a badge. But this will be, I think, announced by the board how we will recognize people with that badge. And there is something, I will just give it to you later on. There is a leaflet how you log into this new program. So this will be a bit later, and of course, that's in this base camp. When you log in there for the first time, you will have also something which is navigating base camp. So this will be basically a tutorial how you can use this online tool. So you will be guided what you should do, where you have different things available, and so on. So basically, it will be there. And yes, and support, it's actually my journey with Pathways is started 1 month ago, and now after that meeting I will also have online virtual sessions mostly for Vice Presidents of Education. But if you have any questions, you would like to learn about the program, all of you will get access to these online meetings that you can log in, and then we can have a discussion, or if you have some specific question, this will be for all of you to get help and support. And there is very important change. I mean, we will use EasySpeak, and EasySpeak is getting adjusted to also have a Pathways programs and speeches. But basically, to get your educational materials, you will log in on Toastmasters.org. So you need to remind yourself what was the email when you first joined Toastmasters and you were registered as a member, and maybe try it out before March. So if you will have some troubles, then we can of course help you to find out what's your login and so on. But go visit that page and check if you can log in there. And of course, there you can find more information about pathways as well. So that's already some information available there. And if someone of you would like to already start with icebreaker related with pathways, you can do it even before the launch date, and it will be recognized. So you can start with icebreaker even before the program is officially announced. I don't know how much time we have left. We don't have much time. So questions, I'm here after the meeting. You can ask me any questions if you have some, or just reach out later. Thank you so much, and I'm really excited about that new program.